The night the blizzard swallowed the valley, no one expected a knock on the door. The wind screamed like it was alive, snow piling so high it erased fences, roads, even hope of travel. Inside the old farmhouse, lantern light flickered against wooden walls, and four small voices hushed at once when the sound came again. Three slow knocks, weak but desperate. Their father froze. He hadn't had visitors in years. Outside, the storm showed no mercy. Whoever stood on the porch wouldn't survive the night unless he opened that door. And when he did, he had no idea that the woman standing there would change all of their lives forever. Chapter 1. The Woman in the Snow. The knock came a third time, barely louder than the wind. Samuel Hale set down his coffee, his hand tightening around the mug. Since his wife's death 3 winters earlier, the farm had been quiet. Too quiet. Just him and his 4 children. He wasn't a man afraid of storms, but something about this one felt different, as if fate itself had arrived with the snow. "Stay here," he told the children, though they were already huddled together near the stove. When he opened the door, the cold rushed in like a living thing, and there she was. She stood swaying, clutching a battered suitcase, her coat too thin, her hair frozen with snow. Her face was pale, lips blue, eyes wide with fear and exhaustion. She looked young, but life had clearly been unkind to her. "Oh, please," she whispered, voice nearly stolen by the wind. The children's Samuel didn't hesitate. He pulled her inside, slamming the door against the storm and stared. The youngest stepped forward, wide-eyed and silent. The oldest 12-year-old Eli studied her like he was trying to solve a mystery. They wrapped her in blankets, sat her by the fire. Her hands shook as she accepted a cup of soup. Slowly, color returned to her cheeks. Her name, she said, was Clara. She had been traveling to take a job in the next town when the storm stranded her. The roads vanished. The last stagecoach never came back. Samuel listened, nodding, saying little. He didn't ask too many questions. Some people carried stories they weren't ready to share. That night, when Clara finally slept on the old couch, Samuel tucked his children into bed. As he turned to leave, small fingers caught his sleeve. "Papa," little Jonah whispered. "Is she sad?" Before Samuel could respond, Lily, barely 5, leaned closer. Please let her stay." Samuel opened his mouth to answer, but no words came, because for the first time in years, the house felt full. Chapter 2. When the storm finally clears, Clara stayed the next day, and the next. The blizzard didn't ease, and neither did the quiet understanding that settled between them. Clara helped without being asked, mending clothes, baking bread, reading to the children in a soft voice that made them lean closer. Laughter returned to the farmhouse in small, careful doses, like a fragile thing no one wanted to break. Samuel watched it all from a distance. He felt guilty for the warmth blooming in his chest. Loving again felt like betrayal. But the children changed before his eyes. They smiled more, they slept easier, they argued less. And every night they asked the same question: "Is she leaving tomorrow?" Well, Clara eventually told her story by the fire one evening. She had lost her family young, bounced from place to place, always temporary, always alone. Christmas had never meant much to her until now. "I didn't mean to stay so long," she said quietly. "I don't want to be a burden. Samuel stared into the flames. "You're not?" Outside, the storm finally broke. The snow stopped falling. The world emerged, white and new. Clara packed her suitcase that morning. The roads were clear enough now. She stood at the door, eyes shining, forcing a smile. The children surrounded her. Please don't go," Lily cried. Jonah hugged her legs. "You make it feel like Christmas." Eli looked up at his father, his voice steady but his eyes pleading. "We need her." Samuel felt something break open inside him. He realized then that the storm hadn't brought Clara by accident. Some losses leave space, and sometimes love finds its way back through that space, quietly, patiently, like snow melting into soil. He took Clara's suitcase and set it down. "If you want," he said, voice thick, "you could stay, not just for Christmas." Clara covered her mouth, tears falling freely now. She nodded. That Christmas morning, the farmhouse glowed brighter than any tree. The storm had taken much from all of them, but it had given them each other. And as the children laughed, Samuel understood the miracle wasn't surviving the blizzard. It was opening the door.